My name's Julie Monser, and I'm president of HEET, the Horse Emergency Evacuation Team of San Luis Obispo County. We are a rescue group that rescues horses during an emergency.
While fire crews battled the Cal fire on the front lines, a crew of volunteers from Roxy Doxy and the county's Horse Emergency Evaluation Team waited to spring into action. HEET volunteers rescued this Appaloosa gelding from a house on Park Hill in the evacuation zone. They brought him here to the Templeton Livestock Yard, where more HEET volunteers greeted him to make sure he was safe and sound. HEET started after the 2003 Park Hill fire.
Because there was no evacuation plan in place for the animals then. So we made sure that there's a evacuation plan in place now.
Volunteers say this is a reminder to animal owners to evacuate early as a precaution, but if you can't, they'll be there to rescue your animals out of harm's way.
We don't have employees, we have volunteers, and we do have a board. We have volunteers that help with sheltering the animals when they come in on an emergency. We have trailering volunteers that go out into the actual emergency and help. We have incident volunteers too. So if we were to have a large incident, we have where we will take in volunteers only for that incident. CAL FIRE has our numbers, CHP has our numbers. They contact us directly. Usually it's me that they call, or they call Susan McElhaney, who is our dispatch person. So if I get the call, then I call Susan and I say there's a fire at, 100 Smith Street, and they're starting to evacuate and they're asking for our assistance. She has a list of all of our members, all of our trailering teams. So then she would start getting everybody on standby. And so everybody on standby needs to have their gas tanks filled. They need to have all of the necessary equipment. They need to have water, food, extra halters, flashlights. They need to be prepared. And we give out a list when people join HEET. We give out a list that states what you should have. We wear badges or have a badge on us. That we like it to be exposed. We also have shirts that have our logo on it, this logo. We stage close to the actual incident command system. We are very close to that. So we park near there, and we have somebody that communicates with the fire department or the CAL FIRE, and then we know where we need to go. That is where you're dispatched from the emergency. So we have a staging trailer. It has halters in it. We have walkie-talkies. We have necessary equipment, but we have lots of crates of different sizes. So if we did have chickens or goats or anything like that that needed to be put into the crates, we could put them in them and put them in the back of the vehicle. We have bags that are full of clipboards, flashlights, masks, things, bandanas, things that are needed in an emergency. At the staging area, people stop and they sign in. We fill out everyone's information so that we know where everyone is at all times. So at the staging area, you would then get your information so you could help. If you're not comfortable going into the emergency, you could then help at the staging area by filling out information that is needed there. The sheltered animals are brought in. They're all numbered. From the staging area, who's ever the first one to come to the staging area is given the letter A. And how many horses they're picking up is numbered. So it would be A, 1 horse, 2 horse. They go out, they have a form that they fill out. That form is filled out in detail, down to the stockings on the horse's feet. Then once they get to sheltering, the handler, the A team, never leaves that horse until they check in it with the sheltering captain or a sheltering member. Then they are assigned a pin, and then that information goes with those horses. We have several ways to communicate. Our number one is ham. There's several of us that are ham operators. Our dispatch is ham operated. Staging, which I am the captain at staging, is ham operator. and several people. We also have the ability with the Estero, is it Estero? Radio group, that have offered to come and help us. They are not horse people, but they will come and get into trucks and trailers and be able to communicate. The hams are able to get down into canyons where cell phones don't work, or hand walkie-talkies don't work. So once our people leave the area, we have a certain amount of time. We know when they left, what time they left, and we're in communication with sheltering. Sheltering also is a ham operator, so we're able all to communicate. The most important parts of our group are all ham operators, so we're able to communicate throughout, between dispatch, staging, and sheltering. To be able to be on the trailering team, you have to be able to back a trailer. That's the most important. It has to be 2 people. It can work out. If it's a single driver, we can have one person go in with another trailering team. You have to be able to back a trailer is the most important part in an emergency and in a narrow place and dark and smoky. Again, you have to be able to handle a horse that is not yours first, and then second, one that's upset. Can be upset, can be spooky, can be very excited, can be rearing, can be spinning, can be just anywhere but on the ground. You have to be able to handle that. We have purchased for the community, we bought an Anderson sling. An Anderson sling is for a horse that is down in a canyon. It has the harness that latches onto the horse and a helicopter can pull it up.
Have a rescue situation with large animals, there are only a few crews that can handle it. As Cameron Polam shows us, several Central Coast search and rescue units got hands-on experience today.
When search and rescue is called to a scene, every second counts. Today, these crews are getting some much-needed practice.
If we had a horse stuck mid-slope, wounded or unable to get down the hill, we could go in, put on the sling, have H70 hover above, connect, and then short haul that horse to safe ground.
Annie, a 22-year-old, 1,200-pound mare, is the live volunteer for today's exercise.
Between all the ranchers, the horseback riders, people training for rodeos and so on, we have a lot of accidents and injuries involving both horses and their riders.
While they have practiced this before, this is the first time with a live animal.
Important for us to know what to expect, as opposed to just training with a dummy that's very innocuous.
In order to make sure she's comfortable, Annie is given a sedative by an on-site veterinarian. Crew's first plan of action is to hook the injured horse into what they call a sling, fastening buckle after buckle, securing her for the flight. Once Annie is hooked in, the pilots will slowly raise her off the ground, minding the rugged terrain where she's located and sudden wind gusts overhead. And with one quick lift, crews are able to know that if this scenario were real, Annie would be okay. In Arroyo Grande, I'm Cameron Polam, KSBY News.
Now, crews also got some horse handling training today. That was run by an organization called the Horse Emergency Evacuation Team.
The Anderson sling was a huge purchase. We bought 2 rescue glides as well, and those are for horses that you can put them onto the glide and you would slide them up. Yes, we deal with trailering accidents, we deal with horses that are loose. We get calls from CHP, can be night or day, so we have what we call safe houses throughout the community, and we have permission to go onto those properties at any time, night or day, and have designated pins for us. So if there were a trailering accident and the horses were fine, they just needed a place to rest, or the trailer broke down or truck broke down, we would go out then and offload those animals for the owner and take them to the safe house, the closest safe house. And they're welcome to stay there as long as need be. Same with the neglect. Anytime we bring in a neglect animal, we have safe houses where they open their homes and provide hay for the horses and help care for the animals. And so we have several sheltering areas in San Luis Obispo County that are open to us. So in South County we have the Fairplex, which is on Stoll, and we have the Elks Rodeo available to us, plus numerous ranches that have opened their homes to us. In North County we have Templeton Feedlot, and we have the Paso Robles Fairgrounds. Plus also Madonna Ranch is open to us. We are in need of members at all times. We need volunteers for all of it. It's not just for out trailering, it's for fundraising. We are strictly by donation. We have limited funds, and we need the monies when we have horses that come in that are in neglect case, and we need it to keep our equipment updated and in proper working order, so that when we do have these emergencies we can go out with our staging trailer. It's just a really good way to meet people and to serve your community. It's a really good way. I've met so many people and friends in the 10 years that I've been doing this. So we want to keep it going, and we want our name out there, and we want people to know we're here to help. If we can't help, we can find a way to help. We do have a website. It's SLOHEET, HEET.org. It's Heet on Facebook. So you can check out some of the work that we've done.